Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I am outside again, finally again. I had been getting over pneumonia. I had pneumonia and getting over pneumonia for over a month now, I'm thinking. And, I used to have it when I was younger, like in my 30s, maybe my 40s. I think I remember getting sick, really sick at least once a year. Which I thought was the flu, and then I'd go to the doctor once I was capable of going, and it would be too late really for them to test for the flu, and they would say, oh, it was just allergies, and I'm like, I don't think so, but it could have been. I'm not a healthcare provider, or I don't know enough about it, but I always thought it was the flu. And then years ago, one of the doctors, like Adam, had a doctor around the same time. His doctor told him to get on a certain medication and a certain supplement, and mine told me. And since then, neither one of us have had our usual yearly flu. Okay, so yeah, he noticed that too. I'm sitting up here, and it's just, I have only been out one time since I got this, I think, just to sit in my SUV. And you can tell it's quite windy. They were blowing around much more than that just a few minutes ago. But the leaves are all, out. That's how long it's been. Yeah. When I was out here back then, it was barely. They were just now starting to bud and turn green back again. But anyway, now I've mentioned this. Not only did I have pneumonia, but the medication that I was on for my rare health condition, finally, what an ordeal I went through to get the medication and got it. And I took 38 pills, and I had seen that doctor. And he said, maybe, you should take, I had said maybe every other day, and he said maybe every third day. I took it the third day, after third day from the last day. And then after that, I called, I sent him a message to the portal, and said maybe I stopped taking this. And I told him, wow, I was gaining 2 pounds a day. And it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to actually help with everything, including a weight problem. I don't want to mention the name of the medication or the rare health condition. Stopped doing that a long time ago because people were using it to fake, to get attention. Seriously, it's very rare. And 2 people, at least, that I knew of tried to use it. My goodness, people are pathetic. Some people are very pathetic. And 1 male, 1 female, by the way. And anyway, all I went through, it took a month for his staff to get it together and get it sent to the right pharmacy, because it's a specialty drug. It's very, and it actually is very expensive. For me, it was nothing. It cost me nothing. I have great insurance. But all that I went through, and then I took 38 pills, like I said, and then I took a 39th one the third day. Said no more. And I had gained, on top of the weight I'd already gained back in 2023, that was medication was supposed to help me lose that weight. Okay? And it did the opposite. It made me gain weight. And altogether, from 2023 to what it was when I stopped taking that medication, just last month, actually I think it's 3 weeks. That time from 2023 until 3 weeks ago, it had put on, I think, 70 pounds, somewhere around there. My goodness, seriously. It was so bad. I'm saying this all over again, even though I just did not too long ago. But it was so bad that I'd get off of the bed And I have a large frame. I'm tall and a large frame. I'm strong. My dad was 6'7" and built like a linebacker. So, you know, my brother, I only have one brother. And he's 6'5", and then the next was me. You know, you shrink when you get older. Plus, I'm female and always have been, so it's a bit different than what my brother. He's 6'5". But anyway, I mean, I'm strong body. I have to be. The way I look at it, I must be a really strong 62-year-old that I carried around that weight. It was awful. I was miserable. Like I said, I would get up and my body would not straighten all the way up because the weight was so much on me, you know. Oh, it was awful. But luckily, it did start coming off. Once I stopped taking that medication, I think the weight later that day is when it started coming off. And it continued at least around a pound a day average. So there was a couple of days it didn't for some reason. But it's about a pound, and then one day it was like 2 pounds or 3 pounds, something like that. But it's water weight, of course, water retention and stuff like that. And, you know, because, I mean, it ballooned me up. Oh my gosh. And my legs had the edema really bad. I mean, not as bad as I've seen on TV and on advertisements and stuff like that. Not that bad, but still it was bad. And they turned my feet, top of my feet turned real red. And part of my legs, it was awful. It was awful. And I was taking Benadryl. You know, I'm not a doctor, so don't go by what I do. And plus, this medication was supposed to do the opposite. I am the epitome of one size does not fit all. That's what it was supposed to do, was help me to lose that weight that I had gained, and instead it does the opposite. Seriously, that's why, you know, medications, doctors want to give this medication or that medication, and it doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for me, and that's for that rare health condition. I mean, come on now. You know, other medications, like, they give everybody this for that, you know, just anybody. Not somebody with rare health conditions, just anybody. It'll screw up sometimes on me. Yeah, and some of them that aren't supposed to work that way for everybody, you know, it's not supposed to work that way. One of them does work that way for me, 2 of them. Well, 2 types of medication. Seriously, one is for anxiety, and the other one is for cholesterol. So, epitome, yeah, of one size does not fit all. So, yeah. But I don't know. I'm just glad to be outside and, you know, just for a little while. Adam's been really good. He's really actually very bored. He's older than I, and he retired. How long ago was it? I don't know, a year or so, 2, I don't know. And everything's been such a blur for me. It's like back in September, all of September I was not well. You know, seriously. I don't know if I ever got a diagnosis for that back then. Really, I don't know if I did. If I did. But anyway, it's all been a blur. But he's been really good. He, you know, all these years that he and I met and married back in 1982. Well, back in 1981, 1982. And that's a long time ago. Yeah, you do the math. It's a long time ago. And, you know, he never really had to do any of the homemaking. You know, I did most of it. I'd say pretty much most of it. He did a lot of the paying the bills and fixing working, you know, whatever needed to be done with the cars, trucks, whatever SUVs we had, whatever it was. You know, he did stuff like that. He took out the trash, you know. We weren't trying to make it like the division of labor, like gender, you know, doing gender roles, but it pretty much turned out that way. But he never really did any of the cooking, cleaning, the homemaking, the washing the dishes, the buying the groceries, and he is now. Okay. And he's enjoying it. I'm all power to you, boy. All power to you. Because I have been dealing with so many weird health issues. Seriously. Weird as in, why are so many? Since I was 59. I'll be 63 soon. What's going on here, And I've been dealing with so much of that, and he's been having to, do that, cook, go. He likes to go buy groceries. My dad was kind of like that when my dad was in his 50s, I think, when, this 6'7", built like a linebacker guy, decided he liked to go buy groceries. I mean, really, when you think about it, it's kind of funny to me, because back then there were those gender roles, which I'm glad that we don't have to stick to any gender roles now. I mean, well, at least here we don't. Some people still have to, But we were used to that, and it was odd to see a man go buy groceries, back then, or want to go buy groceries, and somebody that's married, male, female, kind of thing. It was just rare. And I mean, you gotta picture a 6'7" man built like a linebacker, and he's walking down walking down the aisle buying groceries. Back then, that would have been like, whoa, and it really was. But I think he liked it for more than one reason. Because of control, for one. You know what I'm saying? And he was a control freak. And another was him just getting out, and him seeing people, and him, he would talk to a lot of people. He was really interested in, having relationships with people out in public. And it was a small town, and not real small these days, but these days, yeah. But then, pretty much everybody knew everybody, or they knew somebody who would know that person's family, something like that. And now Adam's doing that, and he goes and he just likes to do it. He said he gets too bored sitting at home, and he wants to get out and do stuff. And I'm like, I was the same way, But I've been that way since we got married. We had gotten married way back when. And I just, that was something when I was in school, boys took like shop or ag, and girls had to do stuff like home ec and health. I think everybody had to take a health class, but that was something new back then, that they brought up, health class, and arts and crafts and stuff like that. But, anyway, I'm out here and I'm looking, and I see how my feet look so dry, man. But another medication that I got put on. I told these doctors I'm not doing this. I've taken all of it once. Well, it was at the same time when I got off of that one that was for my rare health condition. I got on this other one just to test it out. And it's a diuretic, basically, and I had taken it one time before, and I said no, and I couldn't remember why. It was over a year, before then, and because the doctor asked me, and so I tried it, and it's okay, but I'm kind of worried that might be what's causing my feet to be like that, big, mainly so red and dry. And I cannot put lotion because I'm allergic to something that's in lotion. Anything from like, what is that stuff called? Neosporin to hand lotion, And one of them is from my podiatrist. You would think a podiatrist would know what I would need. But nope. Anything that has, I think it's what it has in it is petroleum jelly or glycerin or whatever it is, though, that makes it a like those, what do they call them, the antibiotics that for just not the pill but the lotion, whatever. Can't do that either. Any of that stuff, like Neosporin, and all that. But what is this guy doing? Now I forgot that sitting out in my SUV in front of my house making videos, I would see weird things neighbors do. This one, I don't know what he's doing. Kind of looks like he's using those little bitty shovels for when you're doing when you're gardening, the little bitty tiny ones, but smaller than your hand, and probably about 2 fingers wide. And it looks like he's pulling up weeds, the flower of weed, and he's throwing it over his fence. Hey, this does not beat the neighbor who mows his lawn with a weed eater. I should not be judgmental. During this time that I've been so ill, it made me think about when I was judgmental many years ago. A friend, someone who was my friend when I was young, I saw her and she was big. She was very obese. And I was a little, in my mind, judgmental. Not a little, I was judgmental about it. And I had my reasons for it, but at the same time, I knew don't body shame people, weight shame people. I don't use that F-A-T word. That in itself is a judgment. They used F-A-T. That's a bad word. It's got a negative connotation. Don't use it. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm like this. I don't judge people. I've always been overweight because of a rare health condition. And I don't judge people, but I did judge her. One person, I really judged her. And when all this weight started coming on again, oh man, it made me think, okay, you got to remind yourself, don't be judgmental. And I'm sure my neighbors are judgmental, I know they are, about me sitting in my SUV talking on my cell phone. That's more of a stereotype about men who are cheating. They go outside with their cell phone and sit in their car, walk around talking to their girlfriend. I remember one of my friends, it was probably 30 years ago. Well, when cell phones, that was a long time ago, when cell phones first came out, 20 or 25 years ago, and I told her, I said, I would think that her husband was doing that. So I'm thinking that, finally I told her, I said, look, I think he's cheating on you, and he's talking to his girlfriend. She was like, oh, no, he wouldn't be doing that. About, I don't know, maybe a month later, I was helping her to find help for her and her 2 kids, her 2 boys, their 2 boys, because he left her to go with his girlfriend and left her with a bank balance in the negative, a checking account in the negative. So she should have listened to me. But I don't know whatever happened to her. I stopped. She was kind of freaky. She had her boys one time. I stopped letting her call me because she was bipolar and she didn't want to take her medications. And I think she may have had not only bipolar but borderline personality disorder, something like that. And she had her 2 young boys with her one time, and she came to my town. She lived in the one north of me with them and found me. How she did that, I don't know. And chased me down on the main street there. I'm kidding. And I wound up at Dairy Queen, and she come out with her kids, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. And then I had Adam talk to her because she wouldn't listen to me, and Adam talked to her, and she left me alone after that. So, you know, he talked to her over the phone, and he was in California at the time, and I was in Texas, and she was in Texas. Boy, this is a go with your flow stream of consciousness. But man, I'm serious. I'm looking at my feet. They are just so dry, but like I said, I can't put the lotion on them. Don't look as red, but... And see, I didn't take that pill one day to test it, and I realized, you know, you think of it, you take a pill once every day, okay? Just one pill each day, just one. And this is the other one. This is the one that's the water pill. And I didn't take it yesterday. Now, and Adam even said, I asked him, I said, have you ever thought that that means that it's about, by the time you take your next one on time, you know, the next, you have a time of the day that you take it. And by the time you take that, it's 48 hours that's passed, that you have not been, you not having a pill. You see, it's been 48 hours. He said, no, I always think of it as 24 hours. So do I. But you miss that one that you take 24 hours later, and then you take it again. You don't take it again until the next 24 hours when you miss one. It's weird that we've never thought of it that way. We just didn't think of, okay, now what's this? Okay, who are these people? Now there's somebody doing the edging. Okay, I gotta, and tell me, oh yes, a weed eater they are doing their lawn with a weed eater. Okay, that must be a thing. They have a, just like us, they have a lawn service, so why is somebody dressed differently now? I don't get it. But they're doing edges, so whatever. I mean, something new every day. Anyway, you know what? I think I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to come out here and have some giggles and tell you they gave me something to giggle about. I just hope that them doing that doesn't give me, because it's blowing up. Why is there so much dust blowing up? Wow, I don't need that. That's how I got pneumonia, was dust, concrete. The city was out doing the sidewalks. They were fixing the sidewalks, mainly like at the end of the streets, but also some of the just sidewalks in front of houses. They did one next to ours, and all that concrete, because they pulled it all up and put more down, that stuff in the air. That's how I got pneumonia. And once they quit doing that, it was about 10 days or so later, and I was feeling much better. They came out and started doing it on an alley across there. We don't have an alley on this side, but over across from it, not too far away. In other words, it could blow up stuff, and it did. And so it came back again. This second time around was not. It was much longer and worse. So, but I did start using my handy dandy little, I've got two of them now, inhaler. Never had really before, but I got used to using one, and I have it actually on my keychain. I ordered a little thing that she makes a keychain for my inhaler. Yeah, because when you can't walk, I'm serious. I was mentioning this in the video. I was walking. I could walk like inside the house about 10 feet, and I'd have to stop, catch my breath. You know, like I'd go to the kitchen, lean up against, lean on, actually, the island, and, you know, catch my breath. Walk 10 to 15 more feet. You know, stop there, catch my breath. 10, 15 more feet. Stop there, catch my breath. And then it's all over again, you know, to go back. It was something else. Anyway, wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.